Take a moment to arrive in yourself for this practice. We'll be practicing the kundalini short, sweet kriya for getting the energy moving with some gentle adaptations and options to the posture. Beginning the practice, sitting in easy pose, eyes closed, shoulders relaxed down, breathing in through your nose, sighing out through your mouth. As you arrive here in your posture, asking yourself if there's an intention you want to set for today's practice. It may be simply to be here, seeing whatever comes, word, image, colour, sound, feeling, and breathing into that. Having the palms of your hands together and bringing them into the centre of the chest, thumb pressing firmly into the sternum. Eyes closed but focused on the two brows. And tuning in with the mantras, Om Namo Gurudev Namo, the Adi mantra, I bow to the divine teacher within, followed by the Mangala Charan mantra for protection. Breathing in, breathing out, and breathing in to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Angrenumbe, Angrenumbe, Zangrenumbe, Zergurudavendumbe. Angrenumbe, Angrenumbe, Zangrenumbe, Zergurudavendumbe. Angrenumbe, Angrenumbe, Zangrenumbe, Zergurudavendumbe. On the next exhale, allowing your hands to drop down, taking a breath of arrival, tuned in now to our capacity to learn and receive from everything within and around us. We'll move into the kriya, so moving the cushion that you're sat on, putting your blanket or fleece or whatever you've got right next to a wall, bringing yourself up so your bottom is aligned to the wall, nice straight out through your spine from your bottom there, legs straight up the wall, resting a moment here. If your legs want to be a bit bent, that's fine. We're going to do one leg at a time, left leg extended, bend the right leg. So you might want to start just with the sole of the right foot on the wall. And then you can tip that right knee out to the side and find wherever you want that right foot to rest. Sole of the right foot might be right into the groin, might be up by your ankle or around your knee, just feeling that opening through the hip and extending through the hamstring at the same time. And as you find your way to a version of the posture that works for you in this practice, maybe resting there, maybe allowing your eyes to close, breathing in and out through your nose, And just arriving in that. And if it feels like it isn't right for any reason, just adjusting the posture, trying a different version. Breathing into what it is for you to be in this posture. If you need to ease the leg that's extended, maybe bend the knee a little and straighten it again, you could do that. If you want to adjust how the right leg is resting, feel free to do that. Choosing the version of the posture you want to end in. Taking a deep breath there. And inhaling, and on the next exhale, extending the right foot up. Releasing the legs, bending them, maybe tapping the feet against the wall a bit, maybe dropping the knees out to the sides and back, easing out the hips. And then when you're ready, you're going to do that on the other side, so extending both legs up first, noticing any differences there are to notice between each side of your body, between each leg. And then bringing the left leg down, bending the leg first. You might just want to rest here some breaths. Sole of the left foot on the wall, left leg bent. You might want to rock that left knee out to the side, opening through the hip. You might want to bring the foot in nearer your leg. You might rest it by your foot, your ankle, your calf, your knee. You might want to bring it further up to your groin, just seeing where feels the right version of the posture for your legs, your hips in this practice today. Breathing in and out through your nose, as you will throughout the practice. Allowing your eyes to close, allowing yourself to go within. You feel comfortable to do so. Adjusting how your leg's resting, or that extended leg might want to bend a little, depending on how you're feeling as you're resting and sustaining this posture. And taking a final deep cycle of breath here in whatever version of the posture you want to close in. And then on the next inhale, extending the left leg up. Both legs extended up the wall, just noticing how they feel. Maybe rocking the feet in and out, loosening through the legs. Maybe bending the feet, soles of the feet on the floor, knees bent. Tapping the feet out, dropping the knees from side to side. And then we're going to extend the legs back up the wall and do a similar version with each side, but this time we're adding in a twist. So bringing your arms out to the sides of the ground beside you, palms facing upwards, arms in a sort of straight line out from the shoulders if that's comfortable for you, or adjusting them to rest wherever is comfortable for you. You might find that you want to raise your hips up and put a little blanket support under your pelvis, so you can bring your bottom into the wall and have a blanket under your pelvis against the wall to help tilting through your spine. You might want to experiment with that. Arms out to the sides or wherever it's comfortable to rest. Spine nice and straight. Chin tucked slightly towards the back of the neck, so the back of the neck and the spine through to the head is nice and straight. Legs extended up the wall. We're going to bend the right leg first here. Left leg's extended, right leg's bent. Foot initially on the wall, resting there if you want to, or tilting the leg out. As you did before, coming back into whatever feels like the right version of the posture for you. And now we're going to move the right, so we've got the right knee pointing out to the right side of the body. And we're going to bring in a gentle twist by moving the head towards the left side of the body. So this might be the slightest movement. If your eyes were open, you'd just be moving your gaze up to the corner of the room instead of the ceiling straight above you. Or you might tilt your head a little bit further. Depending how your neck's feeling, you might roll your neck all the way to one side, have your neck stretching all the way through, just finding what level of turn to ease through the neck would work, while keeping your neck and shoulders and spine relaxed. Taking a few breaths here. Just noticing how you are in your legs. If this is relaxed into the posture, you might want to think about bringing in an added dimension, which would be to bring the left leg towards the right side of the body into more of a twist. So to do that, you might want to bring the right foot up against the wall and just nudge the left leg to rest onto that right foot a little bit further to the right. Depending on how this is feeling, you might move it quite far, creating a stretch through your glutes or through the side or back of the leg. You might want it to just be a tiny bit, or you might be finding that that vertical position was quite enough for you today, in which case you might just keep it vertically, but bend the knee. You might want to have the bent knee and rock the knees slightly over to one side. So you could have both knees bent, feet on the wall, same position, and just tilt those knees slightly to the right, creating a gentle twist through the body. Your head's looking over your left shoulder. Taking a breath wherever you've ended up. Then inhaling back to center. Exhaling, extending those legs straight up. Noticing any difference between the sides of the body. Bending the legs, tapping the feet out, dropping the knees from side to side, or opening and closing the knees. And then preparing to do all of this again. So legs extended straight up, keeping the right leg extended this time, bringing the left foot down to whatever version. You know what you're doing now, whatever version feels right for you. Making those arms nice and parallel out from your shoulders or wherever's comfortable for your arms to rest. And here we've got the left knee bent, the left knees pointing out to the left hand side, and gently moving the gaze of the head to the right, maybe resting initially just with those eyes on the corner of the room instead of the ceiling above. And if the neck feels like it works for the neck today, rolling the head round as far as you want to come, looking out over the right shoulder. And we can adapt this twist in the way that we want. So we might want to rest where we are, we might want to ease that leg that's extended or adjust the knee that's bent, or you might want to exaggerate this further, so maybe bring the sole of the foot onto the wall of the left foot and inch or nudge that right leg a bit further along to the left hand side. That could be a tiny bit of movement, it could be a full twist. Seeing what feels good for you today. Remembering that each day is different, each right practice is different. It's the right practice for that moment in time, for your body on that day. If you come into something that feels like it might be a lot and it's a bit more than you wanted, just letting yourself nudge it back. You might want to do a gentle version where you've just got the soles of the feet and you're just slightly twisting those knees towards the left hand side where you look over the right side. Just seeing whatever version of the posture feels right for you today. Taking a final deep breath into that. And then on the exhale, extending those legs up again, Taking a couple resting breaths here. Then maybe jiggling through the legs and bending the knees down, hugging the knees, rocking slightly from side to side, easing out your lower back, and rocking all the way to one side, and bringing yourself up to sitting. Coming seated into easy pose, which is sitting on your bottoms, raised up onto a cushion with your legs coming off the front of the cushion and legs crossed in front of you. But if you want to do any other version, any other seated posture for today, that's absolutely fine. Hands onto the front shin or ankle, spine nice and straight, shoulders relaxed down, chin tucked lightly in towards the back of your neck in a light neck lock. And we're going into a spinal flex. So in that spinal flex, what we're doing is we're inhaling as we open through the chest and come forward, and we exhale as we draw back from the navel point and come back. So as you inhale, you're opening through the chest, and as you exhale, the navel point's drawing back. Your head, neck, chin is remaining still. It's moving backwards and forwards, but it's just gliding. So you're not having a chin curve down to the chest and arced up to the ceiling. You're just gliding that head backwards and forwards, taking this breath and movement at whatever pace feels right for you today. If as you stay sitting, you feel your legs need a break, you can always adjust the posture. You might want to come into kneeling. You might want to just take a break and shake your legs out and then come back. You might want to be doing a really deep or vigorous version of this flex, or you might want to take this really gentle. You could just be rocking from the pelvis, rocking so the belly comes a little bit forward as the shoulders come a little bit out, rocking the pelvis so that your weight's in the back and there's a little curve in your belly. So making that a really gentle movement. The inhale is with the forward rock, the exhale is with the reverse rock. You might want to take it just into the middle back, with the bottom and the middle. You might want to protect your lower back today, keep your lower part of your spine still and move it and leave the flex within your shoulders. So it's more about inhaling as you draw your shoulder blades back towards each other, exhaling as you draw your shoulders towards each other in front of you. Inhale, shoulders drawn back out, shoulder blades almost touching behind you. Exhale, shoulders drawn in, really working in that flex in the top of the spine. You could do this so gentle that you're just ever so slightly moving the top of the body, opening, closing, and even just be working with the breath. Inhale, opening the chest. Exhaling, feeling the release of that breath. So many options. Just doing whichever option feels like the right one for you today. Wherever you are, taking one more complete breath, cycle and movement, then inhaling yourself to stillness, holding your breath. After a deep inhale, drawing your awareness up from the base of your spine to the tip of your head, and exhaling deeply. Resting just here in your seated position for a moment. Then extending your legs out, giving them a nice shake out, rotating your ankles and moving around to find a way to be lying down. So we want to lie down with space on the ground behind us so that we can bring our arms up. So lying onto the ground. You might want to come straight flat onto the ground. First get your spine in a nice alignment. And then we're going to bend the knees and raise the hips. And you may or may not want to do this today, but what you could do is take a blanket and place it under your raised hips. And that's going to help you tilt your pelvis up towards, tilted upwards towards your chest to help protect and ease your lower spine. So having the blanket in place or not, whatever works best for you, we're then going to extend those legs down. And we're coming into a cross crawl. So we inhale, drawing the left knee in towards the chest, drawing the right arm out behind you. And we exhale as we bring it down. Then we inhale, right knee into the chest, left arm out behind us. Exhale, bring it down. Following this, whatever pattern feels right for you today. If it would feel better for you to do just the legs or just the arms, you could do that. If you wanted to do one leg, inhale up, exhale down, and one arm, inhale up, exhale down, you could do that. If you want to be working your core and drawing the lower back, the small of your back down towards the ground, with each inhale working those stomach muscles, you could do that, trying to hold that small of the back onto the ground as you lower the legs out as well. Just exploring the breath and movement feels right for you today. And completing one more full cycle of that breath and movement with each side, finishing with the second side, allowing yourself to rest down, allowing your breath to find its own pattern, bringing the soles of the feet onto the floor, raising the hips up and removing that blanket if you had it there, bringing the knees into the chest, rocking them gently from side to side, rolling over onto one side, and bringing yourself all the way up onto all fours, onto your mat. We're going to come into a cat-cow, so you want to make sure you've got some nice cushioning under your knees and maybe some nice cushioning under your wrists as well. Want knees about hip distance apart, so about 2 fist widths directly between the knees, feet in a nice straight line out behind the knees. Hands directly below your shoulders. You might have fingers spread, palms flat on the ground. You might have fists with hands resting onto your knuckles. You could have fists with your hands sideways. You could be down onto your forearms, just finding where you want to go into your cat-cow. And we're going to inhale as we arc the spine, bringing the head up towards the ceiling, dropping the belly down to the ground, and exhaling like there's a string from the belly button, pulling it up to the sky, arching through the spine, and the chin would come to the chest. But working through whatever version of this you want to be doing. So you could be just leading from that tail, inhaling as that tailbone pops up to the sky, exhaling as that tailbone curves under and looks to the ground. You could be doing that with your shoulders and your head still and in one neutral line. You could be making the movement more just from that core, thinking the belly button drops, the string from the belly button pulls it up to the sky. You're going from the base of the spine through. You could be working it more in your shoulder blades, like that spinal flex, dropping the chest down as the shoulder blades come together with the inhale, pushing up through the arms, separating the shoulder blades with the exhale. You could be doing it all. You could be moving the head with it. You could be only moving the head. Just finding the right version for you. Inhale through the arc. Exhale through the arch. Changing the arm position if you've needed it at any point for your wrists, completing one more cycle of the breath and movement, coming to neutral, sitting yourself back under your heels, giving your hands a real good shake out. If you have been on your wrists, that could feel like quite a lot, maybe some circles of the wrists. Maybe you think, next time I'll rest on my forearms. Either way, we're going to have a short rest now. So we're coming into baby pose. So you might be sitting onto your heels. You might have a cushion or a blanket under your feet to help protect your ankles here. You might have a cushion or blanket over your heels as well that you're sitting onto. You might find that you need your knees further apart, or that you want yourself more raised up, in which case you might have your legs apart and be sitting on a cushion. From here, we're going to bend ourselves forwards, forehead down towards the ground. You might find that you're needing to have the ground a bit raised up towards your forehead today. So you might bring a cushion in front of you. You might put a blanket on that. You might stack your fists so that your forehead's resting onto your fists, the center of your forehead, your pineal gland, stimulating those rebalancing hormones as they flow through your body, touching and making that contact. You might have your arms resting by your head. You might have your arms down by your sides, palms facing up. Just choosing your baby posture for today and taking some deep, restful breaths into it. Final deep breath here. We inhale, pushing ourselves up off the palms. Release the legs. Give them a nice shake out. Bring ourselves round to sitting back into easy pose. You might find first that you need to do some nice ankle rotations after that. Just seeing what you need, sitting back cross-legged, or if it was working for you and you want to remain in a kneeling position, you could do that. Spine nice and straight, shoulders relaxed down, eyes closed, focused on the third eye point if you want to. Chin tucked slightly in towards the back of the neck, so we're just elongating through the spine. And we bring the hands up onto our shoulders, thumbs at the back, fingers at the front, elbows pointing to the sides. Maybe aiming to have the upper arms parallel to the floor, or maybe thinking today, actually, I need them a bit raised or I need them a bit lower, just choosing the right version for you. And we're going to move into a twist. Inhale as we twist to the left, exhale as we twist to the right. Eyes maybe closing once you know what you're doing. Feeling that twist stimulating through the shoulder blades. The head isn't turning, the head is just moving, following the direction, essentially remaining still. So you're not looking over a shoulder as you turn, you're just allowing your head to be static as it moves with your spine. Focus on raising up through the rib cage, creating space in our centers, space for our inner power. And checking that we aren't scrunching those shoulders up towards the ears as we do all of this. Completing one more full cycle of the breath and movement, the whole time having just moved as fast, as slow, as rapid or deep or gentle or lightly into the twist as has been right for you today. Inhaling to center, exhaling, lowering your arms, resting with the breath, resting and just noticing what versions you've done today, what's felt right, what's felt challenging, how it's all landed for you and your body. Resting your hands onto your thighs. We're just going to ease out the shoulders a bit more. So we're going to roll the shoulders round and backwards, inhaling as we roll them up towards our ears, exhaling as we roll them round to the back. Just being in this final bit of movement from today's practice, maybe allowing the eyes to close, to go within. If your shoulders don't want to be rolling today, you might want to just gently raise them up and down. Just breathe. If you have been rolling them and changing the direction, inhaling as you roll them back and upwards, exhaling as you roll them down, forwards. And just one more roll, one more breath, whatever you've been doing to land here before we move into a breath meditation and then ease into our relaxation. So we're doing a meditation, a breath, which is to conquer self-animosity. We're using a hand mudra here, so we're making fists, but not tight crunched up fists. We're bending the fingers so they're into the fleshy pads at the top, and we're keeping the thumbs flexed up. Then we're going to bring the heels of the hands together, the knuckles together, and the thumbs together. That's our hand posture. You can do this seated, whatever's the most comfortable position for you. I'm going to come back to legs up the wall like we opened with today. So bringing a nice blanket or mat up against the wall. If you wanted to have some extra support under your hips there, you might want to put an extra blanket in place. Nudge your bottom up against the wall. You might want to have your legs straight up. You might want to have them a little bit bent. Just finding what's right for you. Today, bringing those hands into that mudra. So fists, but fingertips on the fleshy mounds at the top. Heels of the hands together, knuckles together, thumbs together. Allowing those hands to rest on the top of your body, on the center of your chest. Allowing your eyes to close and focus on the point between the two brows. We're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Then inhale through the mouth and exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the mouth and exhale through the nose. Continuing to follow that circular cycle of the breath, inviting each round of that breath to get slower, longer and deeper. Checking that your body's relaxed. If it's not working for you to hold that hand position, you can let go of it. Taking some more gentle cycles of that breath. Seeing if you can, in these final cycles, go to the longest, deepest, slowest breath you've ever had. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the mouth, out through the nose. As you complete that final cycle, inhale, extend the arms up above you. Exhale, release the fingers and shake out the hands. You might want to imagine that you're sprinkling glitter all over yourself. Magic fairy dust, whatever you like. You might sigh with it. And you're going to then bring the knees in. Rock yourself from side to side if you have been on your back. Over to one side. And slowly make your way around to however you want to relax. If you've been sitting or finding legs up the wall super comfy, you might want to stay there. You might want to put a blanket over yourself so you can fully relax. Your temperature is likely to drop as you relax, so covering yourself up is always a good idea. Sometimes putting extra socks on, an extra top on. Maybe lying nice and straight into Shavasana. Maybe you'd like to sit today. Continue with legs up the wall. However you would like to relax. To allow your body to fully absorb and integrate the effects of this practice. Allowing your breath to find its own cycle, its own rhythm. Allowing your body to surrender its weight to the ground. Taking time to fully relax. And preparing yourself to emerge from this relaxation, from this practice, back into the world, noticing the contact between your body and the ground, the world beneath you, the contact between your body and the air, the world around you. Maybe noticing some sounds or sensations within your body. Noticing any sounds within the room that you're in, sounds within your building, sounds from the outside world. Maybe wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, rotating your wrists and your ankles. Maybe inhaling, bringing your hands over your head, creating a long stretch through your body. Maybe exhaling, bringing those knees into your chest, rocking them from side to side. Maybe bringing the soles of the feet, the palms of the hands together, waking up all the nerve endings. Maybe planting those feet firmly on the ground, bringing your hands onto your face, giving yourself a little massage to bring you back. And rolling yourself onto one side and gently rolling yourself all the way up to sitting, coming into easy pose or your preferred seated posture today. To close the practice with the palms together in the center of the chest and the mantra Sat Nam, meaning truth is my identity. Inhaling deeply, exhaling completely, and inhaling to close. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Light to all, peace to all, truth to all, love to all, care and compassion to all. Taking a moment, maybe going forward, to check in where you were, what your intention was at the beginning of the practice, how you're feeling now, and when you're ready to finish, bring yourself back up. Sit down.